peace with your past is the process of accepting and understanding the events of your past and finding a way to move forward. And when you make peace with your past, it leads to improved mental health, better relationships, and a greater sense of purpose and direction in your life. You may need to spend a little time thinking about why you are stuck in the past, thinking about yourself, or just thinking about the events in your life. But whatever the case, it is always necessary to do an auto evaluation of your life from time to time, and then it can help you to be able to find the lessons in everything that has happened to you. And once you find your lessons, it's now a little more easy for you to, when you find your lessons, it's a little more easy for you to get going or to keep going. So, hi, Jaden, you're welcome. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you. Oh la la, everybody is here. Thanks for coming. Thanks for stopping by. I'm so appreciate you all coming and supporting. Today we have a very juicy, interesting topic, and we have a very smart guest who is going to share his story with us, and we are going to share and learn together. And so, like I was saying before you all came in, today we want to talk about how to make peace with your past and why is it important for you to make peace with your past, because it leads you to improve your mental health, your relationships, and everything about you improves when you learn to forgo your past, forget about it, and just pick the lessons of especially anything that challenged you in the past, be it a breakup in a relationship, be it the death of a loved one, or the loss of a job, anything that really affected you or challenged you in the past and you can't forget it, and it is like controlling your present. That's what we are talking about today, and we are talking about how to make peace with yourself. Hi, Angela, you're welcome. Thank you everyone for coming. Today I'm delighted to share my experiences and with Odom, who is my special guest, Odom's homestead. I'm going to bring him to the screen for him to present himself.
Hello, hello,
Hi, Odoms.
hello.
Happy
How you doing?
Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day to you too, Coach Marymon.
Thank you so much. Thank you for honoring the invitation.
Oh,
How
it's
was your
going.
day?
Oh, it was pretty good, pretty good. Pretty slow day today, so it was pretty good.
Okay. So you are welcome to today's live stream where we are going to just share about how to make peace with your past, because it is important for us to make time to think about what is really affecting us or getting us stuck in the past or preventing us from moving forward, and really see ways that we can help ourselves to stop bearing grudges or really stop being preoccupied with prior mistakes, because we all make mistakes and
Yes.
all of that. So I'm going to let you to introduce yourself and to tell us what brings you to the platform.
Okay. Okay. First, my name is Prentice from Odom's Homestead. I'm a gardener, but I'm also a human. So, and we all go through things. We struggle throughout life. Some of our past stuff that happened to us in our past affects our future and kind of the way we outlook, the way we see ourselves, and it affects our self worth. And the what me and Coach Marymont has been talking about is the fact that for most of my life, I was made to believe that one person was my dad my whole life, and I only seen this man twice, and he's supposed to be my dad. And this man was in and out of jail for rape, selling drugs, different things like that, and it really affected me bad because I played a lot of sports and stuff growing up, and seeing other kids with their dad and me not having one, it just made me feel like I wouldn't love. I wouldn't love, especially by a father figure. And my mom dated. We always called him my older sister's stepdad because he was around from her from the time my mom was pregnant with her up uh, until I was maybe 3 or 4 months old. And we did have a resemblance, but I was always told somebody else was my dad. Until I was 31 years old, I did not know this man was my dad. Him and my mom dated off and on when from the time I was 14 till I was like 16. So he taught me how to drive. He taught me how to fish. Great man. And he always came pick my older sister up on in the summers and kept her with him during the summers. And he always did stuff for her. He was always there for her. But I didn't find out that he was actually my biological father till I was 31 years old. And from that day on, he was dad to me. I mean, whatever I needed, every Monday morning, got them texts. I love you, son. I hope you have a great week. Always coming to pick me up. We'll go fishing, hang out. I go to where he lived at in Dixon. Well, he passed away 3 days before Christmas in 2021. No, 2020. Yeah, 2021. 3 days before Christmas. So he was really only in my life for a short amount of time, and that really that really affected my self worth a lot. That and a few other things that happened in my past until I was able to let go of that and some of the stuff that I did in my past, I did not know my self worth, and it kept me down. It kept like on the job. I worked at the same job I've been at for 12 years now. I started off working on the line. Excuse me. I started off working on the line, and I always thought that's all I could that's all I could do because I didn't know my own self worth. I was so scared to apply for other jobs or anything like that because I didn't know my own self worth. I thought, and I've been told throughout the years by teachers and other people, well, you're gonna be dead or in jail before you're 25. And that really affected me a lot. It really affected me a lot. And if it went for my oldest, for my son, my son, which is the youngest, I think if it went for him seeing me go to jail for the first time, I think I might have would be dead in jail by now. Because me seeing him crying and hurting for me, that really hurt me bad. I stopped everything I was doing. I changed my life from that day forward. From that day forward, I was a totally different person, but I still didn't know my self worth. So it still took me a long time to really realize my self worth. And once I did, I started bidding on jobs and I started getting them. And I bid on another job and I started getting them. And now I'm at the point that I know my self worth. I know what I'm worth. I know what I can do, and I thank God for it. I thank God for it. But it took a lot that for me going up and growing through for me to be able to realize this.
Absolutely. I really celebrate you for
So
being open and for being willing to share your story. I want to recognize Miss V. You're welcome. Angela, you're welcome. Precious Pieces, you're welcome. Deborah, welcome. And everyone else. MLY Bird Farm, you're welcome. Everyone else that I missed, please, I am sorry. Thank you for coming and thank you for sharing in this conversation. If you have anything to contribute, please, you can contribute in the comments, or you can ask any questions that you want. So, Adams, I'm really proud of you because talking about yourself and sharing your story is something that challenges a lot of people because we always prefer to stay safe. We don't know how people will react when they know our stories. Meanwhile, it is when you share your story that people really know who you are and they can understand from where you're coming, and then you can meet in the middle to really function very well.
Yeah, and I always believe that God put us through struggles because He wants to shape us into the diamond that He wants us to be. And I think that's what the struggles in life is. He just teaching you to be that person that He wants you to be. I mean, because I've been through a lot of struggles in life. I mean, like so many, and I just had to rise above it. You know, see what He wanted me to do in my life and see who the person He wanted me to be, and that's what I do. And what I try to do now is I try to share my story with other people to help other people, or I try to, when I get down and I start feeling down, I like to do morning gospel. That's what I call it on my channel. It's little shorts with gospel songs that I sing that uplifts me. So I feel like if it uplifts me, it'll uplift somebody else. So I mean, that's what I'm trying to do. I just want to try to give back and show people. I mean, you gotta laugh sometimes. You gotta enjoy the little things. You can't just always be serious and negative all the time. You just gotta count your blessings and know your worth.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I hope you're seeing all the love from the chat, all the people who are loving on you in the chat, and they are just
I appreciate it.
celebrating you. Hi, Marlene, you are welcome. My Renaissance grandma, you are welcome. So you said you regained your self worth.
Yeah,
How did you do that? Like,
because most of my life, too. See, on my mom's side, I had two sisters, older sister and a younger sister, and I always feel they were both smarter than me. You know, because my mom was the type of mom she A's, B's, and C's is all she allowed. A's, B's, and C's. If you had a D, that's your butt. You getting your butt whipped. And I struggled a little. I mean, my youngest sister, straight A's, all the way through school. My oldest sister, A's and B's, almost all the way through school. But every once in a while, she'll get a C. Me, I used to get D's. I got two or three. I got two D's before in my life, and whew, never get that again. uh, my youngest sister, she actually started doing my calculus work when she was in like the eighth grade because she was just so smart. And so I always felt like I wasn't smart enough. So that right there affected my self worth a lot. And that's what kept me from bidding on other jobs and better jobs because I felt like I wasn't smart enough. And then when I realized that I was, then doors open for me. Doors open for me. I started realizing what I felt towards myself wouldn't was affecting me and blocking my blessings from moving forward. So when I did realize that, and when I started taking that leap and leaving it in God's hands, doors started opening for me, and I'm in a lot of better situations than I was then.
absolutely. I'm so happy for you that you realized it because one of the ways to really make peace with your past is to recognize and acknowledge and give that thing that is challenging you a name. You give it a name and then you can find a solution. And just curiously, why did you think that your sisters were smarter than you? You didn't even try. You
Because
just
they got A's, B's, A's, straight A's, and A's and B's, and I'm working my butt off, and I'm barely getting C's and D's. I got B's, A's, B's, and most C's, and a couple D's before. I mean, and my mama didn't play. She didn't spare no rod.
absolutely, that's very beautiful. Hi, Marlene, you are welcome. Mike, you're welcome. There's Gamer Bro who came in. Angela, I recognize all of you who are coming in and everyone who is already in the chat. Bushi, Pepe, mi amor, bienvenida, and all of you in the chat. I really greatly appreciate your time for coming to share with us. So Marlene says, not everyone is good at all things. We have to focus on our talents.
Yeah.
And our case says, our own self-talk can stop us from growing.
Yes, that is definitely true. That is definitely true. You will scare yourself, and you your own worst critic. You more harder on yourself than you are on somebody else. I mean, and how is that? And God forgives all. So if you make a mistake and you're not forgiving yourself, you're blocking your blessings. Because if you don't forgive yourself, He can't forgive you. Therefore, He can't move you forward because you're blocking your blessings. You're stopping Him from giving you what He had already made for you.
Absolutely. And that's why we always really insist on you really working on yourself and recognizing also that you are an anointed child of God. I'm going to really talk about it because you are a Christian, and I can commend you for the singing, because when you sing, like they say, he who sings well prays twice. Singing is so, so important. It's a big therapy. I use it for therapy too. And when I sing or even listen to the lyrics of some songs, I am really like healed, or I am at peace and calm with myself.
Yeah, me too.
And now, when we say you decided to move on, what are some of the lessons that you learned from your experience?
I've learned that other people's opinion about me is they don't know me. Only person that knows me and knows my destiny is me and God, and nobody else. And I also learned that you gotta let go of the little things and enjoy life because for so long I was a bitter person. I mean, I was mad at the world for a long time. I mean, I just rather walk up and smack you than I was to speak to you. That's how I was. I was a bitter person for a long time, and it affected me a great deal. And once I got humble, I changed. I changed. I realized life was too short to keep being bitter and not forgiving others and myself for some of the mistakes that I've made and what they're made. And I also learned that, like my mom, and I know she meant it as a joke then, but back then I didn't. She used to always call me ugly. It's like, boy, if you don't get your ugly butt over here or something like that. And when I started making Facebook and I put a picture of me up on there because I always been self conscious just because of that. And when I put a picture up and she said, "Oh, look at my handsome son," that blew my mind. That blew my mind. I mean, you don't call me ugly my whole life. You almost done traumatized me, and now you calling me handsome. I mean, what happened? But then I realized other people's perspective of me wasn't really true. Sometimes it was just something they did to keep you down, or I don't know.
Yes, no, I'm not laughing because it's a good thing, because most of the time the parents, the way they refer to their children affects the way the children grow up. Like, for example, when you keep calling your daughter princess, or and then you call your son the prince, and you already are building in them the mentality of some princess that is waiting for a prince to come and rescue them, and it really affects the way children grow up. So when parents talk, they really need to be careful what they say to their children.
Yeah,
Absolutely, Marlene. We have to be careful with our words, especially because they say when you call a child a name, that child will probably start behaving the to fit that name that you're calling the child. And so it's so important for us to change the way we talk and really be intentional the way we talk. I'm so really happy that you had a lot of lessons, and you you decided to really move on and make yourself valuable, because from the time your mother was calling you ugly to when she said you are a handsome son, sometimes maybe that was her own way of making you to work harder. But at least you recognize that you are a handsome son and that you are valuable. And so self-awareness is something that we really I really want us to talk a lot today about self-awareness. Your dog is part of the live stream. Oh, maybe because there's some foreign people there.
Yeah, somebody was running down the road jogging.
Okay. Marlene says, my parents always said, why can't you be like your siblings? But that's impossible. You have to be your own individual. Absolutely. Absolutely. I quite understand Marlene because I also come from a large family where we were eight of us. Two have gone to be with the Lord. But my mother, and then she had more boys. There were five boys and three girls. I'm the middle girl. And so they would always my mother did not really compare us with other children, but she was so hard on us, the girls, that we sometimes my my brothers would get away with certain things, but she was really hard on us, the girls. Yes, Miss V, words can be brutal. Sticks and stones may break your bones, and words do hurt you. And
Yes.
the hurt from your words is more mental. And when you are mentally hurt, that is a big, big issue. That's a big issue. So before we go to this exercise of real self-awareness, I just want to curiously, you forgave your father so easily than you did with your mother. Why do you why what happened?
I mean, I forgave her from the moment she told me. I mean, because she called me, it was like 5 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday. I'll never forget it. And she was like, I want to tell you that Teddy is your daddy. No, he ain't. James, James is my daddy. That's what you told me my whole life. No, Teddy is your daddy. I wanted to tell you this because I didn't want to tell you all these years because he was married at the time and he was separated and I got pregnant with you. I got pregnant with you. And I didn't tell she didn't even tell him. I mean, he didn't even know till I was 31.
Absolutely. And why did you easily forgive your dad?
I mean, I forgave him because I seen what kind of person he was. The way he treated my older sister, which just his stepdaughter. And then which now I realize this is my brother and my other sister. And I seen the way he treated them. And he was always good to him. He was always there for him, going to games, doing what a dad's supposed to do. And I never felt that before, and I'm longing for it.
Absolutely. You're welcome. Casings, you're welcome. And thank you for joining us. She had her own hurt going on.
Yeah, she did. My mom was a strong woman, strong woman. It ain't been many times I seen her cry. She worked two jobs most of her life to provide for us. I mean, which we still struggled. We didn't have everything we needed, and that's one reason why I started working so young because I was finna go into the fifth grade, and she was taking us school shopping for shoes. Me and my two sisters. Well, my two sisters they found some LA Gears, and my mama took me to the side. She's like, "Well, if I get these girls these shoes, I ain't gonna have no money to get you none." That's fine, mama. You know, my grandma just bought me some Pro Wings, which is we call them buddies. I ain't wore them. I can use them to go to school on. Well, I'm telling you, from the time I got on the bus, I was picked on because of those shoes. That taught me two things. It taught me how to be a better fighter, and you got to work hard for everything you want. So that day when I got home from school, I walked down to the store and I talked to the woman at the store because she was friends with my grandmother. So she let me start coming down before school, sweeping the parking lot, taking out trash, and she would give me money. Then after that, in the afternoon, when I got out of school, I helped haul hay and strip tobacco. So within 2 weeks, I had me a pair of Nikes, and I haven't looked back yet. I've been working ever since, almost two jobs by my whole life up until the last 7 years when I finally realized what my worth was.
See, the lessons were valuable for you because it taught you to be a better person, more hardworking, more productive, and you were focused on being a better person or on growing. So the lessons you learned from enduring that experience that hurt you sometimes are the best lessons that you can have. Like they say, most of our best lessons, we learn them during our toughest times. Marlene says, you are a strong man. And I really want to come back to what Kay said. She had her own hurt going on. And she was just doing all of what she was doing to protect you. Women can really bear a lot of things just to protect their children. Even the men too, but I'm talking about women because I have seen more women really go through a lot of hurt just to so that their children could be more happy. So we said today we are going to really have an exercise of uh, because you have already passed the stages of forgiving yourself, making peace with yourself, finding the lessons, and you identified your challenge and then you looked for the lesson and you made peace with yourself. And now you are challenged on with how to find the things that you are your strengths or your gifts. And one of the exercises that I always use is a SWOT analysis. Hi Ben, you're welcome. I hope you're doing fine. I always use a SWOT analysis because for me, self-awareness is really the best foundation you can give yourself. Because when you know yourself, then you can know where to operate and how to operate. Miss V says, even kids, sorry, Miss V say even kids are conditioned to love brand names.
Yeah,
Absolutely, Miss
that's
V.
true.
You can't make peace with your past. So you choose to escape it and forget about it. If you can't make peace with your past, you can't forget about it. You have to call it a name. You have to recognize it, give it a name, and then focus on the lessons and not on the emotions attached to it. So one of the main ways that you can do it, Ben, sit yourself. You have to take time to reflect about it. Give it a name, identify it, what is really hurting me, and then you can now find a solution. When you know what is hurting you, it's easier for you to find a solution. Hi, Pandy, you are welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. I want to also recognize Jared and Miss V says, Ben, that's deep. Miss V says that's deep, and that's really true. And Ben, if that's something that you want us to talk about, you can send me a message on Instagram and we can try to talk about it. It will be my pleasure to brainstorm with you and share some of the ways that you because you have to let go. You really have to let go and don't let it hold you back and don't let it keep coming back when you are having your good moments and then one little thing about remembering about the past and then you 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 forget it and all of that. So
Yeah, one thing I learned, if you can't forgive yourself and let go of your past, then you're blocking your blessings that he has for you in store.
absolutely.
So you got to forgive yourself because he forgives all. All you got to do is ask him. He's going to forgive you. He forgives all. He loves us all. If you ask him to forgive you and let it go, and he's going to forgive you and just move forward. That's what you got to do. You just got to move forward. You just can't. And that's where I was stuck at a lot. I was stuck for so many years because I couldn't let go. I couldn't let go of some stuff I did in my past. I couldn't let go of it. And so it kept me stuck in this one spot, one spot. When I was able just to let go and forgive myself,
That's capital. You have to let go and forgive you. And the first thing to help you let go is to forgive yourself, to practice self-compassion. Let's welcome all the people who are coming from Geek Squad. Geek Squad, my dear friend, I am so honored. Thank you so much for your support and for your love. Thank you so much for everyone who is coming from Geek Squad. There's Anne Marie that's coming from Geek Squad. There's M&T Living. There's Jared, Pulse Gaming, and oh my God, we are so blessed with all the people who are coming in.
appreciate it.
Thank you so much for all the raiders who are coming in. Please, if I didn't see you, don't charge it to my heart, charge it to my head. And there's a Geek Squad, my dear friend himself. Thank you so much, my dear friend. It is an honor for you to come and bring all the troop along. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate you. I really, really appreciate all the love and support. Thank you so much for everyone who is coming in. And I'm sure I have missed a lot of people. I am so happy. Thank you for coming to share with us today about how to make peace with yourself. Thank you so much, Melissa. I have not seen you for ages. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone.
Yeah,
I
happy
hope you
Valentine's
are
Day.
all doing fine. And so we were sharing our stories on how to let go of the past hurts so that we can move on. Gina says, Odom, good job on forgiving yourself because you deserve that. Now, sharing this part of yourself may help someone else come to forgiving themselves. Blessings, bro. And you have the greetings from the geek himself.
My
So,
brother.
so before we go on the exercise, you want to share something else about the importance of, because there's somebody in the chat who is really not forgiving himself. There's Ben. Ben is calling, is dialing in from Brazil, and he says he can't forgive himself, and he just decides to forget about it and to I don't know if you have any words for him before we continue.
Uh, Only thing I gotta say is you gotta forgive yourself. You got to forgive yourself. That's something you gotta do. You gotta forgive yourself and forgive others. That's the only way you're gonna be able to move forward. And don't dwell on it. You just once you forgive yourself and you forgive them, don't dwell on it. Don't look back at it. Just keep moving forward. Just leave it in God's hand. Because if you don't, it's gonna keep you bitter. It's gonna keep you down. It's gonna keep you stuck in that place that I was stuck in for so long.
Absolutely, Ben. So if you like, you can send me a message on Instagram, and then we can talk more on this. So today we are talking with Odom, and we are going to do a SWOT analysis with Odom, but we are just going to the SWOT is the acronym for your strengths, the W for your weaknesses, the O for your opportunities, and the T for your threats. I've done a video on that. The link is in the description below. But also, today we are not going to do all of that. We are going to focus on the strengths and opportunities, how you can identify your strengths and how you can identify the opportunities around you. Because the focus is for you to build on your strengths. Sometimes people make the mistake of thinking that they have to improve on their weaknesses. No, it is okay not to know everything. It is better for you to build on your strengths because that is your superpower, and that is how you become more productive because you're building on your strength. Ben says, I don't know if I can go back to Scotland and face it, but that's the only way I can find peace, revisiting home before I move to Brazil. You're already taking steps.
Yeah. If you're gonna go face it, if that's the only way you can forgive yourself is to face it, then face it. Face it head on. Because if you don't, you're gonna keep dwelling on it.
yes, or sometimes you don't want to, you can talk to those people and visit those places, but sometimes you can do it from a distance. If you start from a distance, before when you are comfortable to meet them face to face now, then you can go back to Scotland and meet them there. Because sometimes if you just go when you are not prepared, it's going to give a negative effect of what you really intended, and you will not, you will still get stuck. So you are doing well because you are talking about it. That's already a very big step, but you have to take time to think about it yourself, recognize it, find the lessons, forgive yourself, and then move on. It's not easy, it's a lifetime thing, but you have to remove that baggage. Like somebody said, imagine if every time that keeping a grudge is like piling garbage on yourself. And then imagine how much smelly it is, how it is going to weigh you down and all of that. Meanwhile, you can just let the garbage truck carry the garbage away and your place is clean. So Ben, you see people rooting for you. Miss V is rooting for you. In this community, you can talk to anybody you want. People are always ready to listen to you and to help when they can, or to reference, or to send you to other people who can help you. Wellness with Frugal Mama, you are welcome. So, Odom, what did I touch now? Okay. So now we are going to do a strength analysis, and this is one of the exercises that I do because for me it's a way of auto evaluation, auto evaluating your capabilities, and it is an honest way of doing it because you have to be honest with yourself. You're doing it for you and not for anybody, so you have to be honest with yourself and really write it down the way you want it. And then even those who are in the chat, this is the exercise that we did. We started on it during the live-a-thon on how to remove self-doubt. You can also do this exercise to identify your gifts and your strengths. What makes you special? So the thing about your strengths is sometimes you don't even recognize, or you don't want to accept that you are strong enough, or that you are talented, or that you know so many things. So let's have our pens and papers and then we can write. It's not like we are going to write everything today, it's a starting point. So to identify your strengths, you take your piece of paper and then you start writing. Like you have questions that can guide you. For instance, what makes you special? You don't need to share it with anybody, just write it down. And everyone else, start by writing what makes you special, or what unique values do you have. And then sometimes if you it's difficult for you to hi let me acknowledge, hi Queen Unbiased, you are so welcome. JBWR, you're welcome. And who else came in when we were talking? Welcome everybody. I greeted Wellness with Frugal Mama. Anybody that I missed, please, I am sorry. You are all welcome and I appreciate your time and everything that you have left to come and participate in this live stream. Thank you for the thumbs up as you come in. Thank you for those who can share the live stream. So when you are analyzing your strengths, you are looking at what makes you special. Or let's say at work, think about sometime at work or in your work. What was your biggest success at work or at school, with your sports, in your life? And why we insist on writing it down is your brain always likes for you to give it evidence. Hi, Tam Tam, you're welcome. Your brain always likes evidence to see that you can do something, that you have done it before. So, what makes you special? What? is the biggest success that you've had? And then you write that down. What tangible qualifications do you have? Not only qualifications in school, education, but what internships did you do, or even in your day-to-day activities? What did you really like doing, and what can you really show? If somebody says, teach me something that you know, what can you teach that person? I know that my the queen unbiased, she will tell you how to design something, calculate the material and cut it. Queen, I can't do that because I can't do that because I don't have the patience to calculate all of those. I told you one day that I used to run away from sewing classes because I did not have the patience to calculate all of that and cut it to really fit squarely. So those are some of the questions that you ask yourself, and I really am so proud of all the crafters and all the people who have their special skills and they are using them to just be creatively manufacturing or creating things. Hi, April Showers, you are welcome. So you want to identify the things that you do so well with very little effort. You want to identify the things that make you stand out. What are you unique at? You want to just write down, you want to just write them down so that you can look at them. And then when you are looking at your strengths, they are both what you are good at and what makes you special. And then if you are having a hard time thinking about it, ask your friend, ask your wife, or ask your sisters, but ask people who you trust will give you an objective evaluation, not people who will tell you things just to please you.
I
Ask
think
somebody.
I
Yeah.
think for me is my determination and passion, and my will not to ever give up, because I can't quit nothing. If I'm passionate about it, then I'm all in. I'm going all in.
Okay, that's good. So you just write them down. And what things do you like doing? I know that you are a homesteader, so you
Yeah,
like
gardening.
gardening, you like planting, you like cultivating.
Yeah,
And so everything, even because sometimes when they ask people what makes you special or what are you good at, people think that it's just you need to have a certificate or stuff. Even the people who cook, what recipes do you have? What are the things that you like cooking that you can share to somebody? You have, everybody have their grandma's special recipe that they can share with somebody, and that the person can, it really help. You see, during the pandemic, a lot of people were in trouble because they closed down restaurants and they couldn't eat because they don't know how to cook. And that's how the cooking channels became really famous on YouTube, because everybody was going there to learn how to cook something. So even if it's just a recipe and you know how to cook it well, you can share it with people. So
I can
your
cook.
unique gift.
I can cook. I spent a lot of time with my grandmama growing up in the kitchen, so I can cook almost anything. I'm a pretty good cook.
Absolutely. Marlene says, instead of comparing, think of what you do best and pursue it. Absolutely. Because you see, it's so, when I look at all the homesteaders and the way they are making their unique imprint in today's world. Meanwhile, in Africa, I grew up, my parents are farmers, all my generations were real farmers. We grew up planting and eating our own things. And people thought that we were suffering. That is a sign of poverty. But look at today, everybody is looking for a piece of land to plant something or soil to plant something.
When I was growing up, you know, my family, we had a big farm over in a couple counties over from where I live at now, and we raised a lot of hogs. chickens, uh, ducks, goats, and we had a big garden every year. And that's what my summer chore was before I was able to start getting a actual job during the summer. I would go over there and work on the farm all summer, and that was some of the best times of my life. It was some of the best times of my life. I enjoyed it, and basically, truly, that's all I ever wanted to be when I grew up was a farmer.
It's that's I'm telling you, it blows my mind that everybody is thinking now that the best thing to do now is to grow your own things. Meanwhile, when we were growing our own things, they said that we were suffering, we were poor, and they called us all sort of names. So it's so I'm so happy to see that finally the world is really realizing that growing your own food is not a sign of poverty. It's a sign of taking your life into your hands, taking your well-being in your hands because you want to be sure of what you're eating.
Yeah. And it tastes a lot better than stuff you buy from the grocery stores. It tastes 10 times better. Tomato that you buy in a grocery store tastes nothing like the one you grow in your own backyard. It's it's like night and day. The taste is like 3 times better. And that's what everything because they pick stuff so early they don't have a chance to mature on the tree and ripen on the tree fully. So you're not getting that full flavor that I would get as me going in my backyard picking my own tomato or going out there picking one of my own apples or peaches or my grapes or one of my figs. You will never get that same taste that I get.
Absolutely. I will, let me really share with you the way I grew up. I grew up in like I said, my parents, all my generations are farmers. You know how we used to eat oranges? You just take your knife and you go under the tree and your chair. And you send your hand, you pick one and you're cleaning it and eating it. If you want to eat mangoes, you go under the tree, you send your hand, you pluck it, and you are eating it. You finish eating because we don't have refrigerators because the climate is cold. We don't really have refrigerators. You can live conveniently without a refrigerator because we don't put things in the freezer. We eat fresh things. You go and harvest and come and eat. So maybe that's why we don't keep refrigerators. Also because we don't have electricity in most parts of Africa. That's another thing. But you see, those are the things that are today so important. Meanwhile, we thought that we were suffering. Ben says, my dad was a farmer, but I grew up in the city. He used to get rural ingredients grown from my grandparents' farm to make food. Absolutely. How long does it take for tomato?
It all depends. It all depends on your soil, how much you water, and how much sun you get. For me, it usually takes from the time I plant a seed to the time I'm harvesting my first tomato. If it's in the summertime and I'm getting enough sun, usually in between 30 to 45 days.
I'm laughing. I'm laughing. Hi, Drea. You're welcome. I'm really laughing because the other day when you all were asking questions about how do the seeds look like? Do I plant one or two in one pot and all of that? And I said these are real city children. They have no idea. They have no idea how the soil looks like, and even the queen on bias, she doesn't have any idea that when you start growing things, the bugs are part of your growing. The bugs must come when you're growing things, or the earthworms. You are going to find them, girl. So
She's gonna have some figs pretty soon. I gave her some fig cuttings and a fig tree. So and I think she showed them on one of her lives. Somebody told me she showed. I didn't get to see it, but they said it was looking pretty good. So she should have some figs by the end of this year. So
no, I'm really happy because it's not easy to start something new. I really completely understand. I'm not laughing because I really underestimate your efforts. I'm just like amazed at the things that we took for granted. People have to learn to do them, and the things that they branded us as poor. Now, I'm not laughing at you, Queen. I'm really celebrating you because it's really, really. a different experience. You really see it growing. And for one thing about planting and farming and gardening, if you think that you need patience on YouTube, when you are farming, you need a lot of patience.
Yeah. Ben said he wish he would have grew up countryside, which I didn't grow up countryside. I went over there during the summer. I grew up in the projects in the city.
Absolutely. So, Queen, I'm not laughing. I am celebrating you. I'm really proud of you for taking that step because it's not easy for you to start learning any new thing, especially farming. So,
But
you are on the right path.
I
Hi, mother of twins. Sorry.
I hear people saying all the time, I ain't got no green thumb. I can't grow nothing. Well, you forget the Bible tells you that God created us to be his gardeners. So when you say you don't have a green thumb, that is not true. That is not true. That's what he put you here for, to look after this world and garden his garden. So
Absolutely.
we just
And
forgot how to do it because we stopped doing it. We got more into the city mind, but we all still gardeners at heart. Anybody can have a green thumb. I didn't kill a lot of stuff, and I'm still killing stuff. I mean, that's all.
the important thing is if people are willing to learn and grow.
Yeah,
And that's a very important thing. When you're willing to learn, that's already a big foundation. And I also want to use this opportunity to tell everybody who is a new gardener that sometimes you watch the videos, it's not enough. You need to talk with a gardener. You really need to have a call for them to explain some of those things to you, because if you just go and watch somebody's video, sometimes you might not really understand a lot of things. So it's important for you to talk with the gardeners who have more experience, and they would really help you. Ben says, I grew a little flower just outside my front garden once, but it got run over by
that
Ben.
road,
You're so funny. Did you call 911 to report?
police ran over.
Oh my god. So now it's a, like we said, writing them down, about writing your strengths down is a continuous thing, because there are certain things that you used to do that you really don't think that is a skill or a talent. Meanwhile, it's a useful thing that you can help someone with it, you can give advice on. So those are the things that you write down, and then when you finish writing all of those things down, you now rate them, because for you to know what you're really best at, you have to put a hierarchy. So all the things that you have listed, now put a hierarchy on them. Which one is 5 on 5? Which one is 4 on 5? Which one is 3 on 5? And then when you look at all of those, that will give you the things that you are good at and the things that you like doing, that you can do with less effort. And that's how you begin to identify your gifts and even identify your hidden talents. So you can ask your colleagues, you ask your spouse, you can ask your siblings, ask the people that you know will give you honest feedback, and that's how you can identify your strengths. And why are you identifying your strengths? Like we say, you are identifying your strengths so as to enhance them and find a way of monetizing your talents or helping people. So if you don't are not interested in the money, but when you know the things that you can do, you can know now that I can help people in this or in that thing. So it's a continuous list. You keep working on it, because every day we learn new things. Now the queen unbiased is learning how to garden, and she will become more and more perfect as time goes on. When she does her first year, the second year it will be better and
Yes.
less tedious than the first year. I don't know. Do you have any questions about strengths? I can give you more questions that can help you to brainstorm either in your mind or with anybody I can send you more of those questions to help you to brainstorm and bring out all those good qualities that are in you. So if you don't, if you okay, we can continue with the opportunity analysis. And why are we doing an opportunity analysis? We are doing an opportunity analysis because now that you know your strengths, you have to now find what are the opportunities around me in my environment, in my community, that can help me to grow, or what are the opportunities where I can use the talents that I have. So you also start to make another list to identify the opportunities and how you can optimize them. So your list of opportunities will be based on why you are conducting your personal SWOT analysis, because you when I say list of opportunities, you might decide to find the opportunities, work opportunities. If you want to find a job, you might decide to do the opportunities in life, your life opportunities, if you want to just change your relation or grow your relationships, or make better your relationships. Or you might want to find like opportunities in education or training facilities around you. So you are doing a list of all the opportunities depending on what you want to do with the opportunities. Thank you, Queen. I also left his web his YouTube channel on in the description under the video. Thank you for sharing that, and thank you everyone. Please connect with each other, connect with Odom, and learn a lot of homesteading. He has talents in so many other things that he can help you at. Please connect with him and get some of his expertise.
You see, Ben said he preferred to hear his strengths come from others. It feels more genuine. But you don't know if them people telling you the truth or not. I think it's best to find it within yourself. You really don't know if other people is being truthful with you or not. I mean,
Absolutely. So Ben, you might want to find out for yourself, what am I good at? What are the things that I have accomplished? In the past, did you help have you ever helped somebody in anything? That is a strength. Or just ask yourself, when your friends come to you to ask for help, what kind of help do they ask for? And what kind of advice do you give your friends when they come to ask for help? That can also help you to identify the gifts that you have or your talents. So you are going to ask from people who are objective, who will not sugarcoat what they are telling you, who are not just going to tell you things that you like to hear, because you are using them as a foundation for you to become better. And that's why you have to be authentic, you have to be honest. He says, I saved my brother from a car accident, but he was one of those lucky to be there. Depends
still
on
took
what.
courage. It still took courage from you to save him. So I mean, it wasn't the luck of you being there. You're a hero. You saved him. That's your brother.
Absolutely, you could be there and not save him. So it's not because you were there. So what pulled you to go save your brother? Those are some of the things. So just think about the times that you have brought value and the things that you have done in the past that has saved someone, that has helped someone. Hi sis, Triple Thread, you're welcome. Thank you for stopping by. I greatly appreciate your time and support. So Ben, you might want to send me a message on Instagram and then we can talk better. So when you talk about opportunities, we said, you are going to analyze your opportunities, the work opportunities, the life opportunities, the job opportunities, the education opportunities, or the YouTube opportunities, or everything that you want to do. If you want to look for opportunity, because when you identify your strengths and then you put them in hierarchy, so you choose the ones that you are best at, because all your strengths, you like your level of cooking might not be the same level of gardening, or might not be the same level of any technical job that you're doing and all of that. So when you put them according to hierarchy, you select now those that are ranking highest, and look in your environment to see what opportunities are there in these things that I am good at. I don't know if I explain myself very well. Hi, Miss Patty, you're welcome. Thank you for coming.
Triple threat.
So you have identified your strengths, your unique talents, you have written them down, and then you have put them hierarchically, and then you have identified the best ones. You might choose two or three, and then find the opportunities that match those ones that score highest. And that will help you now to find your passion. So the other things that rank, maybe they rank like 2 on 5, 3 on 5, those might not be the things that you want to focus on now. You might want to focus on the things that rank highest. And there's no if you can organize yourself, you can do 2 or 3 projects simultaneously. But if not, you can focus on one at a time. And then, for like we say, if you want to focus on your job, then your opportunity analysis would be to identify the opportunities in that job area where you're doing now. If you want to find opportunities in your relationship, then you focus on the opportunities, or you want to go to a new school, or you want to learn a new skill. Like me, I want to really grow my YouTube channel. When I started YouTube, it was for fun. But when I came there and I found that it can be monetized, and that you can really make a living being a YouTuber. Now I am ready to learn how YouTube is being done, to do it professionally, and to maximize the time that I put in. Hi, your dog. What's your dog's name?
That's St. Thomas.
Who?
St. Thomas.
Sometimes.
St. Thomas.
It's really big, eh?
Yeah, he's a big baby, is what he is.
Oh la la. Hi Juba, you're welcome.
Stop, bro.
So you have your strengths on one side, and then you have the opportunities. And what are you analyzing opportunities, so that it will save you time, it will save you money, and it will save you any stress. And you are analyzing the opportunities that will make you spend the least amount of effort with the most amount of productivity or gain. It might be monetary gain, it might be just to satisfy yourself, or whatever remuneration that you want. That's how you can find it, and that's how you will know what to focus on, and what, and at any given time. And then, like for example, if you are looking for a new job, you might like to go to LinkedIn or all the job posting sites and find out what kind of skills do they need, and how can you really grow up your skills to meet up, and what kind of positions are they filling. If you are capable of filling all those kind of positions, or any of those things that will help you to not waste your time. Like, if I like now that I'm going to I want to learn how to edit. So my job now is to find who can help me to edit. From where can I learn easily how to edit? And that's how I find the opportunities around me. If I just find somebody in the community, will the person have time? Or does the person offer paid services? Am I able to pay for the services now? So all of those things are the questions that help you to identify the opportunities and to optimize them. Thank you very much, Miss Patty, for sharing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for my moderators. I am so grateful for all of you.
Great people. Great people.
Yes. So now I said it was a SWOT analysis, and I have a video in the description below where I detailedly put the SWOT analysis, where I added how you can analyze and identify your weaknesses and the threats. But our focus here is not for you to find your weaknesses. Our focus is for you to find your strengths and the opportunities so as to be able to utilize your strengths, optimize them, and even monetize them. Why not? Queen Ombaya said, editing videos is not an easy task, but learnable. I don't like to edit. Welcome to the club. Now you understand what I'm going through.
No, it ain't easy at all. It's hard.
Yep. But it's good, it's learnable. Everything is learnable. Or now that I know that it's a weakness, I can find an editor who can do it for me. But now I don't have money to pay somebody. So I have to find a way to do it myself until when I can pay somebody to do it for me, then I'm good to go. So those analysis that you do is an objective way of, because you have to be true to yourself. Because if you go and put things in the list that just to please yourself, and you can't do them, then it's like you deceiving yourself. Thank you very much, Marlene. You're putting up your link. Hey, Mercy, you're welcome. Thank you so much. I want to thank everybody for being here. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. And so when you do all this analysis, we say it's because you want to save yourself stress, time. You want to save yourself some time. You don't want to waste your time on things that are not within your sphere of influence or your sphere of control. So that's my own way how I help my clients or people who come to me to, because my main purpose is to share my life experience and to help you identify your talents. And there's no other thing to help you identify your talents. There's no better thing than doing a SWOT analysis. It's really, if you write them down and go back and look at them, each time you look at it, you can decide to add or to, sometimes you've forgotten some things. And then I tell you, when you finish doing the writing and then you analyze them according to hierarchy means you are putting the ones that are you really, really good at, that you really, really like doing without any effort, without frowning. Those you put first, those you rate them 5 on 5. When you do all of that, it really enables you to take responsibility for your life. It gives you a positive mindset to reinvent yourself, and it helps you to improve from inside out. Because if you are improving from outside in, it's always a little more challenging. But when you want to improve from inside out, it's really more helpful for you because it broadens your mind to identify your gifts and clarify your purpose. And it identifies the areas where you need to improve or where you want to be focused on. And then it aligns your purpose with the actions that you want to take to recreate your life or to become a better person. Like I always say, my competition is with myself. I want to be better every new day than I was the day before. So I don't know, do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
I don't know if I brought any value, if you it was
Oh yeah,
useful.
yeah. It just helps a lot by listening, truthfully. And like I said in my live time, you remind me so much of my grandmother, and it's so easy for me to talk to you just because of that fact. And me and my grandmama, we was close. We was close. I
Thank
stayed
you
with
so
my
much.
grandmama more than what I stayed with my mama until she passed away. She passed away midway through my sixth grade year, so I lost that at a young
Sorry
age.
to hear that. Well, all of us are going to pass one day. And
Yeah,
let me tell you a secret. My name, Ma, is my grandmother's name. So in my family, everybody calls me Grandma. Hi, the Stock Explorer. You're welcome. Thank you for coming. Thank you for the thumbs up as you come in. I am so grateful for everybody who is here. So they call me, I'm Grandma. They call me Grandma, even from when I was young, because they gave me my grandmother's name, my maternal grandmother's name. And so you are on point. I am Grandma. Yes, Queen, I am Grandma. I am Grandma and grand auntie to so many nieces and nephews. So I am really so proud of you for taking your responsibility to build a better life and to really make yourself more useful, because you're so gifted and there are so many things that you can share and that you're already sharing. People can learn a lot from you, and I'm really so proud of what you're doing,
I
and
appreciate
I'm
it.
really proud of our community. So do you have anything you want to share again?
No, but I like to leave you with a song before I leave.
Thank you so much. I am all ears.
You don't have to worry, and don't you be afraid. Joy comes in the morning. Troubles they don't last always. For there's a friend named Jesus who will wipe your tears away.
Amen.
And if your heart is broken, just lift your hands and say, oh, I know that I can make it. I know that I can stand no matter what may come my way. My life is in your hand.
Amen. Thank you so much. That's a
Thank you.
beautiful song. I love that song too, and I thank you so much. I don't know the people in the chat. I don't know if you have any questions. Amen. We can't make it without Jesus.
No,
That's a
we can't.
fact.
We can't.
And that's really morning, afternoon, evening, today, tomorrow, and forever. He is the center. He is the Alpha and the Omega.
Oh, yes. He's amazing.
Yes, Autumn sings so beautifully, and I really like the fact that, because most often we have more women who sing than the men. So
Yeah.
when we have a man who sings and to the glory of God, that is a big plus. Hi, the Queen Whitney, you are so welcome. Thank you so much for everybody who is in this live stream. Thank you for those who are going to watch the replay. And I'm really grateful, Odom. I'm so thankful for your time
I
and for
appreciate that.
sharing your journey with us. It's always an honor. And every time we share our story, a lot of people they learn from our story, because we learn in two ways: from our own experiences, or we learn from other people's
Yes.
experiences. And
That's
so
true.
I'm really so happy that you shared your story and that you shared your journey with us. And you are welcome anytime to come to my channel. Anytime you want to invite me, I am a farmer in my blood, and we can talk about some planting I
Yes,
grew
ma'am.
up.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, everyone. You can watch the replay and You can send me a message on Instagram. My link is in the description of the video. Please connect with Odom. For those who have not connected with Odom, his link is in the description in this below this video. Odoms is a blessed big man on the other side of the screen. So you having greetings from Oliver's Metal Fabrications. And
Nice to meet you.
so please connect with Odoms. His link is in the description below this video. Today we talked about how to make peace with your past, and we were talking about this topic because making peace with your past will help you to better your mental health, to better your relationships, and gives you a greater sense of purpose and direction in life.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone. I wish you a very happy Valentine's Day,
Happy
and
Valentine's Day.
thank you so much for everything. And have a beautiful rest of the day and beautiful week. Thank you all.
Thank
Take
you.
care.